Most people think that when someone pulls away, it's because they've lost interest, that they're bored, or worse, that they were never serious in the first place. But with avoidant attachment styles, that couldn't be further from the truth. You see, an avoidant can feel deeply for you. They can crave your presence, admire your qualities, and even imagine a future with you. But when the emotional intensity rises, so does the inner panic. Avoidants aren't afraid of love. They're afraid of losing themselves in it. They're not cold-hearted. They're self-protective. So in today's video, we're going to explore 4 moments that trigger an avoidant to pull away, even when they genuinely like you. These are not random mood swings. These moments are rooted in deeply wired survival strategies. And understanding them might not only save you heartache, it might finally make you stop blaming yourself. Let's start with moment number 1. When emotional intimacy feels too real, too fast. The avoidant's biggest fear isn't that you'll hurt them. It's that they'll become dependent on you and lose their emotional independence. For them, closeness often feels like a trap. When someone starts expressing deep affection, making future plans, or wanting daily connection, the avoidant brain can misinterpret that as control. Even if you're just trying to bond, they start scanning for ways to regain emotional distance. You might notice that they cancel plans, stop texting as often, or become emotionally vague. What you saw as a step forward, they experience as a step towards suffocation. And this isn't always a conscious choice. They're not necessarily planning to retreat. It's more like their nervous system goes into fight or flight, and flight wins. So when the relationship starts to feel like it's moving from exciting into emotionally serious territory, an avoidant may pull back, not because they don't care, but because they suddenly feel emotionally unsafe. Now let's look at moment number 2. When you express a strong need or expectation. For most people, being needed by someone feels bonding. It makes them feel trusted, connected, even important. But for an avoidant, someone needing them often triggers pressure. It reminds them of past relationships, maybe from childhood, where needing or being needed felt burdensome, overwhelming, or led to disappointment. So when you start to express that you need more reassurance, more consistency, or more communication, the avoidant may interpret that as you trying to own a part of them. Instead of leaning in, they back off. It's not because your needs are wrong, it's that their wiring tells them they can't meet those needs without sacrificing their autonomy. Ironically, the more you reach for them in these moments, the more they retreat. This is why healthy communication is critical, because if you express needs as demands or ultimatums, it activates their independence reflex. But if you create space for them to show up voluntarily, it gives the avoidant permission to engage without feeling trapped. Moment number 3 is especially confusing. When things are going really well, you'd think the moments of connection, joy, and closeness would make someone feel more secure. But for avoidance, that emotional high can create internal panic. It reminds them, consciously or not, that they now have something to lose. Vulnerability has entered the picture. And where vulnerability exists, so does risk. The happier they feel with you, the more terrified they become of losing you, needing you, or being changed by you. So ironically, a romantic weekend getaway, a deep conversation, or a moment of closeness might trigger them to go cold right after. It's not that they're faking those warm moments. They're very real. But those moments expose a side of themselves they usually keep hidden. And once the emotional window closes, they go back to their internal fortress, trying to patch the cracks that closeness just opened. That's why after something beautiful, you might get silence. And you start questioning, did I do something wrong? No, you didn't. You just touched a part of them they're still afraid to share consistently. And finally, moment number 4. conflict or emotional confrontation. For an avoidant, even small conflicts can feel emotionally catastrophic. Where someone with a secure attachment might see conflict as a path to resolution, avoidants often see it as a threat to their emotional safety. They learned early in life, whether from family dynamics or past relationships, that conflict often meant abandonment, rejection, or pain. So when you express frustration, disappointment, or even just ask for clarity, their first instinct is not to fix it. It's to run from it. Not physically, necessarily, but emotionally. They shut down, they minimize, they withdraw. Sometimes they even pretend nothing happened and hope you'll get over it. It's not about disrespect. It's about survival. Confrontation equals danger, and instead of moving through it, they prefer to emotionally disconnect to protect themselves. Unfortunately, this makes you feel more distant and invisible, which can lead you to escalate your emotions, making the avoidant withdraw even further. This vicious cycle is what kills so many relationships that could have worked, if only both people understood what was really happening beneath the surface. So let's recap. Avoidants pull away even when they like you, not because they don't want love, but because love, real love, triggers buried fears. Moment 1 is emotional intimacy becoming too real. Moment 2 is when needs feel like demands. Moment 3 is the paradox of things going too well. And moment 4 is when emotional confrontation feels unsafe. In all these moments, the avoidant isn't trying to hurt you. They're trying to protect themselves. But here's the hard truth. It's not your job to fix them. You can understand them, offer empathy, and communicate gently. But if an avoidant refuses to reflect or grow, you will always end up chasing breadcrumbs. You deserve someone who doesn't see your love as a threat. You deserve someone who leans in, not away, when things get deep. So if you're in love with someone avoidant, ask yourself this. Are you nurturing a bond or surviving their silence? Are you being loved or are you just being tolerated in small, timed doses? Awareness is power. And the more you understand these moments, the more you can choose, wisely, lovingly, and courageously, what kind of relationship you truly want to build. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And remember, the right person won't run when you get close. They'll meet you there.